Bitcoin ETF gets approved. Welcome everybody. Congratulations. Everybody was waiting for the announcement of the Bitcoin ETF approval, and we finally got it, right? The thing is that now it seems like the market's not really reacting as people expected. One thing I do want to go ahead and say though is now that it is approved, it kind of seems like a lot of the price action kind of came in from yesterday when we had that FUD announcing that the SEC got their Twitter hacked and they approved the ETF, right? So I think that really caused a pump yesterday, and that's where all the hype was coming in. Right now it looks like not much action is going on. Actually, I'm sure a lot of people are probably surprised. They're probably thinking that as soon as those news were to go ahead and get announced, we would see Bitcoin flying to new all-time highs. But we also have to go ahead and keep into consideration that we still are waiting for the Asian market to go ahead and show up. How's it going, Happy? Thank you. Welcome for being here today. And we also as well the ETF will be trading live tomorrow during the time the US stock market opens. So definitely go ahead and anyways, what I was saying, Bitcoin ETF will start trading live tomorrow during Eastern Standard Time during the stock market open. So we're going to go to see, we should be expecting more volatility tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to be seeing today, honestly. Honestly, I just feel like a lot of the price action came in from yesterday, and that FUD that was caused kind of seems like it already went away, and people are no longer as surprised, if that makes any sense. So let me go ahead and share this with my chat real quick. We are now live. It seems like low-key the markets are a little like boring today, or it's probably just me, I don't know. It's like you would have been expecting a lot more action in the market because the ETF finally got approved, right? Which shouldn't be a surprise to many of you. Awesome possum. So we got everything up and ready. We actually see Billy right here that just shared the approval. It says right here, ordered, and yep, this is the approval. I don't know what none of this means, so it's going to be trading on the NASDAQ tomorrow, so be ready for that. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like we should probably be getting more action as everybody thought we would, right? Everybody's like, yeah, Bitcoin to $100,000, Bitcoin to $100,000, but the question is, where's Bitcoin at $100,000 right now? We're not really getting much action in the market today. Taking a look at crypto bubbles, we do see the whole entire market reacting very well. EHEX up 43%, HEX up 43% as well. We are seeing a lot of these altcoins actually doing really well today, and that could probably be due to the fact that we have been seeing a decrease of Bitcoin dominance coming in ever since we got the announcement. So today I really don't expect much action to go ahead and happen. As I mentioned, we were to go ahead and see some action. We'll probably see some action later on today, but most importantly, I do believe we will be getting more volatility tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the day where it's going to be officially trading on the NASDAQ tomorrow Eastern Standard Time as soon as stock market opens. So that's when I expect more volatility to be. So if we are going to pump, we should be seeing the pump tomorrow or either later on tonight. And if we're going to go ahead and dump, we're probably going to go ahead and see that during this week. So we could be actually transitioning into altcoin season as well. So there's a lot of things right now. I think right now the biggest thing is a lot of people were anticipating for this Bitcoin ETF, and they were getting overly hyped. And now that we have the ETF, now what are people going to go ahead and get bullish about? Is it going to be the Bitcoin halving? You know what I mean? So like, this is kind of the reason why I don't ever like to get too hyped up about these news, because people overreact to the news. And when the news actually happened, like, not much has happened. Like you probably would have thought that because we officially got that tweet from the SEC, we would probably see Bitcoin moving to $100,000, and yet it hasn't really done much. If anything, it has dumped ever since they got their Twitter account hacked, right? So No surprise to me. As I mentioned, I don't expect much action going on today. I honestly did expect more volatility though. I'm not gonna lie. I expected a lot more volatility for Bitcoin because retail has been overly optimistic, and we've been talking about these levels for the last couple of days. Let's go ahead and take a look at the fear and greed chart and see where things are at. And we are actually back at greed, right? We were at extreme greed yesterday when the news were announced of the ETF approval getting finally approved, and it turns out that it was fake news. So it turns out that the SEC got their Twitter hacked, and they're actually now doing the investigation. From what the FBI says, they're investigating the SEC, whoever hacked it. And yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. Black Ranger, how's it going, buddy? Hope you're doing well today. Hope you're having a great day today. How do you feel about the Bitcoin ETF, man? I mean, we've got it now. You know what I mean? We've been literally talking about the Bitcoin ETF for months, and now that we have it, what is Bitcoin doing? Nothing. But as I mentioned, I'm not really going to put literally all my energy into talking about how Bitcoin's not up today. We will be getting more volatility tomorrow, in my opinion. During open market and the stock market, we should go ahead and see how that finishes. I believe, even though I've been really bearish with Bitcoin these last couple days, I do believe we might go ahead and make new all-time highs. I do expect some sort of reversal and probably retesting 48,000 to 49,000. So I do expect some sort of bounce tomorrow, if not tonight, depending on the time you're watching this. But I do expect Bitcoin to probably touch towards these levels. I don't feel it like it's going to straight dump from now. It could be a possibility, but the only reason why I say that is due to the fact that we're actually seeing the DXY slowly consolidating, right? We kind of actually talked about this these last couple of days. So there's only two case scenarios that we could have here with the DXY, right? We either have the DXY dump down to the 99 range and Bitcoin pumps to new all-time highs, or we either go ahead and get this some sort of fake out where the DXY slowly dumps below the 99 and then retraces back up, breaking past through that area of resistance, right? So right now the DXY hasn't really done much. It did end on red, but one thing we do typically should go ahead and take in mind, as much as bearish as I want to go ahead and be, and as much as I want to be the person that said I told you guys, you know, the ETF wasn't big news, I'm not going to go ahead and be too hard on that today, just due to the fact that yesterday we actually had Bitcoin pump. We had it pumped about $3,000, and that was due to the fact of the ETF approval. It so happened that it was fake news and it dumped right after. So a lot of people got liquidated yesterday, so I'm not going to go ahead and be too hard on that today. And the other reason why is because, as I mentioned, the DXY is in the zone where it ended red today, and we're also seeing the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq actually ending green today, right? So it's actually kind of following this scenario that we've been talking about, right? We're getting past this area back in resistance. We're like almost following this thing to a T, and I drew it out over here. Since Monday, I drew this out. So it looks like the US 100 is actually gaining some momentum, and it looks like it's getting ready to rally back up. So I do expect some sort of rally with Bitcoin tomorrow, if not towards the end of this week. I mean, tomorrow's already Thursday, so that's crazy. So we only have 2 days left of trading, and I do expect that we should go ahead and have some sort of green day tomorrow, because it is a big day for Wall Street. So I do expect some volatility to come into Bitcoin. I don't think it's going to be a straight sell the news where Bitcoin just dumps. I think that's way too many people were expecting that. I was expecting that, but as I mentioned, we want to go ahead and stay level-headed, right? Because we're seeing that the US 100 is actually getting closer to breaking past these areas of resistance one more time. And with that being said, there's a high probability we could actually see the US 100 come back up, making new all-time highs, pretty much getting all of retail excited with the FANG companies, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google, and then, you know, literally dumping at the top. And this would include also Bitcoin dumping, right? So we could actually go ahead and see Bitcoin do something very similar, where right now the US 100 did pretty well today, you know, ended up the day pretty well. Tomorrow's going to be a huge day for Wall Street. It's actually more of a bigger day for Wall Street than for the crypto people. I mean, it doesn't really have too much effect on you. I don't know why people are what is a word? They're overreacting to the news, right? It's, in my opinion, I don't think it's going to be much beneficial for crypto. Will it go ahead and bring some volatility into the space? 100%. But we also have to keep into consideration, were these institutions that were getting this ETF approval, do they already have Bitcoin in their balance sheet? Have they been buying Bitcoin since the Bitcoin was at $17,000? Were they buying Bitcoin over the counter at around these areas right here? Is that the reason why Bitcoin freaking dumped like crazy, over 60%, in order for institutions to buy the dip around these areas, load up, talk about the ETF approval? They get the ETF approval. We have one last final pump. Let's say it's 50,000, 60,000, and then they dump it on the market. Do you think that's what happened? I mean, that's a question that everybody's asking, right? Do these institutions already have Bitcoin, or are they going to be buying Bitcoin at these levels? Well, let me go ahead and tell you one thing, right? Do you really think big money is going to go ahead and buy Bitcoin at $60,000? Come on, ask yourself that. When has big money ever been the person that loses in the market? It's always a little guy, right? You and I. It's always the little guys losing money in this market. It's never the banks. It's never the institutions. The banks are always bailed out, right? So do you really think smart money is going to be buying Bitcoin at $50,000 to $60,000 when they could be buying Bitcoin at $32,000? Ask yourself that real quick. I want all of you to go ahead and ask yourself that real quick. If you had the power and the money to move the market, would you be buying Bitcoin at these high levels, or would you be buying Bitcoin at these low levels right here? Ask yourself that. It's kind of common sense, right? You buy low, you sell high. You really think smart money is going to go ahead and buy Bitcoin at $50,000 to $60,000? I don't think so. And this is the reason why I've always been bearish about this Bitcoin ETF, because I'm sure there's either two case scenarios right here, right? They've either been loading up on Bitcoin since these areas right here. The second case scenario is the ETF, they probably don't even own any Bitcoin. They're probably doing like an IOU, where it's like a promissory note, them telling you that, they're holding on to Bitcoin. So with that being said, does that mean they're going to use customers' funds to buy Bitcoin? See, so that's what a lot of people don't understand, and that's what no one has any information yet, right? So we're going to get more information tomorrow, and once we get more information tomorrow, we could, I guess, overanalyze the situation, which I don't really think we should. As I mentioned, every red flag is showing up. The DXY, the US 100 is getting ready to top, Bitcoin's getting ready to top, the DXY is getting ready for a reversal. We're getting all the signs of the market, right? Regardless whether we had the ETF or not, Bitcoin would have dumped. It would be getting closer to dumping as well. So you guys have to also go ahead and take that into consideration, that regardless of a Bitcoin ETF or not, Bitcoin and the whole entire stock market is getting ready for a reversal, right? Whether you want to agree to it or not. It just so happens that the top is just so happens that the top was when they announced the ETF. Did they do that on purpose? Maybe they wanted to get that last final pump before they could go ahead and dump on retail. I don't know. Ask yourself that. We also have to go ahead and be considerate about the fact that we also have the Bitcoin halving. Typically, Bitcoin halving always dumps the market, right? And we also have the presidential election, right? So there's a lot of things right now in the back end that I guess could have some influence into Bitcoin, and people are overreacting to it. The Bitcoin halving, the ETF, the presidential election. Can some of these news be bullish? Yes, 100%. But overall, the TA is telling us otherwise. It's telling us that we're getting towards a top of the market, whether ETF or not, whether Bitcoin halving or not, is showing us signs of a top of a market, both in the crypto market and in the stock market, and as well with the strength of the dollar, right? So we're getting all of this across the board. And that's what most people don't understand, is that they're overhyping this scenario where they think Bitcoin's going to go ahead and shoot up to 100 million, and everybody's going to be rich and everybody's going to make a lot of money. But let's be honest, when has smart money ever done that? Think about the GameStop and AMC. When there was a short squeeze, did smart money not come in and stop all of retail? What makes you think this is going to be a different case scenario, right? We're seeing already the manipulation. Do you really think about it. It just so happens that SEC gets hacked a day before the approval or the announcement of the freaking market. Like, how do they not have 2FA on their account? How does the SEC get hacked, bro? You know what I mean? It's like, you would have thought that these people probably have like better freaking security and all that, or have somebody like properly managing their social media, making sure they have all the right security measures. And we're relying on the SEC to come and save us when they can't even figure out how to save their own Twitter account. Like, You can't make this thing up, bro. You really can't. So that's what I want everybody to be considerate about, is that we're some very interesting times in the world. I'll tell you that. We're some very interesting times in the world. Do I expect Bitcoin to pump tomorrow? I think we will go ahead and have some sort of a short squeeze, and then we're going to go ahead, and as soon as we get that top to the market, which I don't know where it is, 60,000, maybe 50, maybe 48, maybe now is the top of the market. Who knows, right? So let's go ahead and read some questions. Yo, Billy, how's it going, my guy? Finally, we can stop talking about ETFs. For sure, dude, 100%, man. I'm so tired of the friggin' ETFs. People overhype the ETF. It's like, now the ETF is over, is going to be the next narrative is going to be the halving. People are going to be like, wait till the halving, wait till the halving, wait till the halving. Halving happens, dumps again. They're going to be like, oh, wait till the presidential election, wait until the Fed cuts rates. And it's always something new retail has literally coming out of their freaking head, bro. Like, they have no idea what they're talking about, but, you can't blame retail. You really can't, because these people mostly go based off emotional fundamentals, if that makes any sense. Because yes, it's fundamentals, but it's also emotional, because it just wouldn't make any sense for anybody to long the market now. Like, you should have been longing the market down at these bottoms over here. This is where you should have been longing the market, and then riding and then taking profits right here. But you don't long the market right here, bro. You don't go all in right here. You don't go all in at the top, and most people usually do. And that's just the reality of the truth. And that's just because most people just go based off emotion. They don't go based off logic. This is logic that I'm telling you. We're saying neutral headed, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see what's going on, at least to me. I think it's very, very simple. It's not overcomplicated with what I'm showing you, just simple support and resistance. I'm telling you, this is the 418 Fibonacci retracement. If this thing gets rejected, this thing's going to come back to $32,000. Like, whether you want to agree to it or not, something's going to happen, right? So we are getting near a top. That's all I have to say. I don't know why retail likes to overanalyze this. It's really not much to analyze. Like, I could literally end the stream now and just be like, yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Like, because in reality, that's really all it is. Like, it's really the same thing we talk about every day. It's really not much of a difference going on. I do expect more volatility moving forward. I think once we get these news over with the ETF, I think it's going to be more exciting now with the market. Like, now that the ETF is done with, now we're not going to have nobody talking about and saying, wait until the ETF, right? So let's go ahead. It says Piff Daddy, Maker's over 2K. Nice, man. I actually had Maker as one of my top hot trending altcoins, and I was like, I remember that you told me about it, Piff Daddy. So that's nice. I definitely have to load up on some Maker. Black Ranger says, either way, when you zoom out, the next leg will make a insane god candle. I mean, yeah, but regardless of Bitcoin pumping or not, it doesn't really benefit that many people, is what I'm trying to say. Like most people in this channel, I assume some of you probably hold on to Bitcoin, and most of you probably trade altcoins or meme tokens. So Bitcoin pumping doesn't really benefit your bags whatsoever. So that's kind of the other reason why I don't understand the big hype about Bitcoin pumping, when Bitcoin really has no correlation to altcoins or meme tokens. We need Bitcoin to dump in order for meme tokens and altcoins to pump. So, most people waiting and screaming for a bull run, I could assure you that most people probably don't have a lot of freaking Bitcoin that they're holding on to that would make them multi-billionaires if we see Bitcoin hit $60,000. Right? So that's what I'm trying to also say. Like, the people that really benefited from this Bitcoin pump and these dumps have been people that have been leverage trading Bitcoin. But the people that are just, investing into the market, the Bitcoin price action really has no correlation to what we do. I don't freaking buy Bitcoin. I mean, I have a little bit, like probably a couple cents, and I will be buying Bitcoin as soon as we have some sort of retracement, and I will be, leverage trading Bitcoin moving forward, but I'm going to be doing that as soon as we go ahead and find some sort of support. But what I'm trying to say overall is that most people, at least in the channel, are mostly altcoin holders and meme coin traders. So Bitcoin really has no benefit to us. There's very few of you that I know that do buy Bitcoin and hold on to it long term. But even if you're buying Bitcoin long term and you're buying it as a hedge against inflation, if you want to call it the digital gold, What benefit does an ETF have for you? You know, if it tops at 48,000, is that going to make you any richer than you were yesterday? What, another additional $3,000 onto your portfolio? You own 3 Bitcoin. What is that going to be? You know, assuming you bought them at, let's say, $45,000. You buy, let's just say you bought Bitcoin at $45,000. You own 3 of them. It goes up $3,000. You're up what? $6,000, $9,000, $12,000. You know what I mean? So like the reality is that Bitcoin is really not going to do much. Like the money's not in Bitcoin. Like the money's in the altcoins. This is where you want to be putting your money in. And in order for this to pump, we need Bitcoin to crash. We need Bitcoin to correct. We need Bitcoin to correct in order for us to see these 43, 46, 24% pumps on these altcoins, and even higher. We'll have it higher once we have Bitcoin correcting. So that's kind of the reason why I'm also telling people is like, why are you guys getting so hyped about it? It's like, dude, the longer Bitcoin continues a pump, the longer Bitcoin goes up, the longer there's delays in Bitcoin correcting, the longer it's going to take for altcoin season to begin. That's the reality of the truth, right? And that's what a lot of people don't understand, is that the longer Bitcoin does its thing, the longer it's going to take for all of us to make most of our money on altcoins, because altcoins haven't really done much. I mean, besides Solana was the one that was taking all the market cap and all the attention these last couple months. And we haven't gotten any love from all the other altcoins. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know why people are cheering for freaking Bitcoin's ETF approval when, you know, we still haven't even received the altcoin season yet. And in order for us to receive that, we need Bitcoin dominance to go up. That's the reason why we're seeing all these altcoins kind of slightly pumping, because Bitcoin's down. But until Bitcoin continues to go up, we're going to go ahead and see all this money come out of the market and go back into Bitcoin. Or this is Solana, but go back into Bitcoin. You know, so I don't understand the hype behind it. Even then, right here with the meme tokens, you really don't see much action going on. You're seeing a few GM fam. I was actually thinking of GM fam yesterday. I was like, dude, I had to make a video about this. I completely forgot to make a video. I've been extremely busy these last couple weeks. But we were talking about GM fam, and shout out to Dabmaster that has been talking about GM fam. I've been saying how this is a cup and handle pattern getting ready to break out. But anyways, with what I'm saying is that even with the meme tokens, look where the meme tokens are at. There's really not much going on in the meme tokens either. Why? Because I'm telling you, this really has nothing much to do with altcoins or meme tokens. Here's the reason why I don't understand the hype over the Bitcoin ETF. I never would. I would never understand the hype with the Bitcoin ETF. Like I really want to see what the thinking of retail would be. Like, how is the ETF bullish? Like I really want to think about that. People tell me, John, well, it's going to bring in a lot of more volatility into the space. It's going to bring a lot more money. Yes, but you also have to remember it's also going to bring in more manipulation. So is that bullish? I mean, Bitcoin was created, from my understanding, Bitcoin was created as a decentralized protocol, right? If you want to call it decentralized currency, in order to not have the middleman, the big money involved. Yet now we're cheering for Bitcoin, for big money and be involved in Bitcoin. It just doesn't make any sense, right? So I don't think a lot of people comprehend that. Yeah, altcoin season is going to go in. ETH is going crazy though. Either way you zoom out, the next leg is up. Piff Daddy says, nah, it's a law. They have its own BTC 101. Just like gold ETF and every other ETF, they must own it. I do agree. They probably bought it cheap, and that's the reason why we pumped to $45,000 now. Yeah, I think so too, bro. I agree with you. But the question is, even with digital gold and silver, right? Even with digital gold and silver, do you really feel comfortable buying digital gold and silver? See, I wouldn't feel comfortable buying digital gold and silver. I would rather own a physical asset when it comes to that, like a physical gold and silver. You know, I would have never understand like the digital formats. I don't know. Maybe I just overthink this a little too much. They said that about stocks too. What do they say about stocks? We will have one more small flash crash before we absolutely send. I think the flash crash was yesterday. So I think the send is going to be tomorrow. I think we might have Bitcoin pump like crazy tomorrow. We could actually see Bitcoin pump to $48,000. So I as much as I want to be bullish, I'm not, because I'm telling you, we have to stay neutral, level-headed and neutral about it. But we will probably more than likely retest these levels at $48,200 or even $54,000. So don't be surprised if you wake up later on today or tomorrow with Bitcoin at $50,000 to $48,000. I think it's very, very possible. Pip Daddy says next narrative is ETH ETF. Go look at ETH chart right now. Yeah, 100%, bro. That apparently, from what I'm hearing, the next narrative, because Bitcoin got its ETF approval, and now it's ETH. That's the next narrative, bro. You can't make this up. Like the narrative retail makes out of everything, bro. You just can't make it up. You just can't make it up. But see, people are thinking that the reason why ETH is pumping because of the Bitcoin. Now they're having an ETF narrative on Ethereum, which I told all of you about too. I've told you, as soon as Bitcoin gets an ETF approval, best believe we're going to have Ethereum. Then we're going to be followed by Solana, and then we're going to be followed with other mid cap or higher cap altcoins. So there's no surprise to that, right? But now apparently right now the next narrative is the Ethereum ETF. So now we're going to be waiting on a freaking ETF on Ethereum, bro. You can't make this thing up. The reason why Ethereum's pumping is because Bitcoin dominance has dropped. Altcoin season's beginning. This is the reason why we're seeing the altcoins pump. It's not because of an Ethereum ETF. See, this is the problem with retail. Retail speculates on everything, bro. They're going to come up with it like, oh, they're going to make a... you remember how NFTs were such a big thing like freaking 2 years ago? Where are NFTs now? You know what I mean? It just, retail just overhypes everything up, which kind of makes sense, right? Because I'm pretty sure it's big money, like probably like pushing some of the retail to like convince other retail investors and traders to be overly hyped. But yeah, that's the next narrative. We have the Ethereum ETF now, which I'm sure it's going to be followed with a Solana ETF. And then we're going to have an AVAX ETF. And then we're going to have a Dogecoin ETF. Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if we have a Dogecoin ETF. Like, straight up. Like, what people don't understand is this is all about money. This is all about money. How much money can they bring onto their clients, right? So I wouldn't be surprised with the Dogecoin ETF. But yeah, Ethereum is looking very bullish in my opinion. I've mentioned in order for us to have Ethereum and altcoins and meme coin season to pump, we need Bitcoin dominance to decrease. This is the reason why we're seeing a pump on Ethereum, and we're also seeing all these alts pump. Bro, SEC PW pumped up 500x. That's insane, bro. That is insane. I know we got wrecked on this though. Look at this. This thing has dropped all the way to 14,000 market cap. This is how quick the narratives die. This is how quick narratives die. Unless this thing reverses, that's going to be pretty cool. But this thing has died. We jumped in at like, what, 200,000 market cap? And look at this thing. I'm telling you, dude. You could just tell when a token's done. Especially with Solana tokens. Like, I realized, like, once it starts printing the first red candle, it's typically when the token's dead already. Like, as soon as I saw this right here, I'm like, yep. This token's dead. I've seen it way too many freaking times, bro. When I would buy the dip, I would buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, and then eventually it's freaking zero. So like as soon as I saw that first candlestick that it turned red, I was like, yeah, this thing's done. Luckily, I only put in like freaking like $8, bro. Emotion pumps the coin. What do you think we go parabolic? LOL. Do your job and join the moon boys. Glenn says, do your job and join the moon boys. Dadmaster, how's it going, my guy? Black Ranger says, money flowing into Bitcoin is bullish for the entire market. I don't own any BTC, but it shows us the money's coming into the alts next. Well, like I said, we need to have Bitcoin dominance to fall. So I just don't see how bullish that is. We need Bitcoin to correct. BTC long-term hold for people that already have the funds. 100%. I mean, I think we should all be owning Bitcoin. You know, I think after this ETF, for sure, After we make, at least after I make some money in this market, I'm for sure going to start stacking up on Bitcoin. Like I'm going to be buying some Bitcoin just for the F of it, right? And I'm going to be loading up on Bitcoin miners. That's what I'm going to be loading up long term for the next 2 to 3 years. I'm going to be loading up on the stock market, and I'm going to be loading up on crypto. I do believe we are in a long term. We are approaching a bull run. That's what I could go ahead and tell you, and I could assure you confidently that we are entering a bull run for both the stock market and the crypto market. But in order to continue that bull run, we need a correction. So as I'm saying, it goes back to the same thing. Whether we pump or we don't pump, like we're going to get a correction. I think Bitcoin needs to correct to $32,000. That's my opinion, Mile. Black Ranger says, crypto, yep, been holding. BTC is the second largest crypto in my portfolio. ETH used to be my second before Soul Pump. Now it's Soul. Nice. Solana meme token is pumping crazy. BTC Etf. I did see that, bro. That's actually quite crazy. I'm pretty sure that thing's pumping like the freaking moon right now. Let's go ahead and see this real quick. Let me go ahead and... Oh yeah, I can just do it right here on my monitor. I forgot. And put out my monitor real quick. Yeah, this thing's probably gonna pump to like 300,000, and it's probably gonna collapse after. See, the thing is with these meme tokens and narratives, you have to hop on very, very quickly. You make your nut and you're out. You can't be holding on to these for too long. I've kind of noticed that. Yeah, Bitcoin ETF, 21,000% up. It's insane. Inspiration, how's it going, girl? Long time no see. How you been? Welcome, by the way. Haven't seen you in a while. Pip Daddy says that Bitcoin ETF is going to bring in much holders when everybody is buying BTC in their 401k. And yes, I buy gold ETFs. I prefer real gold, but the premiums to buy and sell physical gold is too much. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah, I've never understood buying digital gold and silver, man, to be honest. But it makes sense. It makes sense to buy digital gold and silver. But I just never understood that. But I mean, I think it just goes all the way back to commodities as well, right? When you go into buying oil, it's not like you're going to actually physically buy physical barrels of oil. See, the thing is, I think when it comes to, you know, digital gold and silver, which I think for me personally, like when it comes to gold and silver, I would rather have jewelry. Like I have jewelry when it comes to gold. I have rings, you know, chains, earrings. I have all of that. That's the way I prefer to buy. That's why I prefer to buy my physical gold and silver, is by actually, you know, buying jewelry. The problem with jewelry though is that you lose it. I've lost a lot of freaking solid gold, bro, like 14 karat gold. So yeah, also it also depends of how the way you want to do it, right? So I guess digital is the way, but I don't know, man. I think at the end of the day, even if we were to have, a lot of people talk about like, okay, we have this market collapse, right? We have, let's say we do have this whole entire economical freaking world collapse, or the whole entire global world collapses, right? A lot of people say, you know, you should be holding on to gold and silver, but let's say the world collapses, right? You really think most people are going to be transacting with gold and silver, bro? I think most people are going to be transacting with like materials and goods, whether it's food or tools. That's kind of that's what I'm thinking, you know? So I don't know, dude. It just kind of feels like everything's a freaking lie. People say buy gold and silver for not only a hedge against inflation, but also just in case we have our currency collapse. But if we were to have a currency collapse, I don't know how many people would actually be transacting with gold and silver. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Yes, ETF is approved. Remember you said it wasn't going to get approved? I never said it wasn't going to get approved. I never did once say it wasn't going to get approved. I said if the ETF, I said worst case scenario, the ETF gets delayed. Is it going to get approved 100%? I mean, it's been said multiple times for the last 2 weeks that the ETF was going to get approved. Because you still be PMO. What does PMO mean? It looks like it's already crashing down, lol. In 2017, Bitcoin dominance was growing and my altcoins were pumping, a rising of lifts of all ships. Yeah, 100%. I think the reason why is because we were at different times in 2017. I remember that. I remember in 2017 when Bitcoin was at, you know, hitting new all-time highs, and we had Ethereum Classic also making new all-time highs, and that's when everybody was getting overly hyped about Ethereum Classic. And talking about Ethereum Classic, I know a lot of people bash about Ethereum Classic because it's a fork of Ethereum, and apparently from what I heard, like Ethereum Classic has gone hacked, and so what if, I heard a lot of things about Ethereum Classic. I don't even think they work on Ethereum Classic anymore. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? I'm not too big on Ethereum Classic, but I've been telling everybody, right? I've been telling everybody these last couple months too. I haven't said it as often, but even Ethereum Classic, I think it's going to get their own ETF. And I think Ethereum Classic, I think this thing is going to go ahead and pump back to these levels, back to 2021 where it was at $100. And I'm only saying that because I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, Grayscale is holding on to Ethereum Classic. And I think that as soon as like more of the normies start coming, because this is not, the thing is, we haven't received the actual pump that we're all waiting for, right? The actual pump where we have a parabolic run is not here yet. It's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it might happen after the halving is when we're going to have the parabolic run, when everything just freaking skyrockets, right? Where Bitcoin hits $80,000 to $100,000. I think it's going to happen. I think $80,000 to $100,000 Bitcoin is going to happen. But I think that's going to be after the halving, right? So that could be early, you know, around November or December, where we could be seeing Bitcoin hitting new all-time highs and probably seeing that parabolic run across the market. And that's where I believe myself that a lot of the retail traders and investors, all they're going to see is the word Ethereum, and they're going to quick to assume that Ethereum and Ethereum Classic are the same thing. It's like, I mean, they're kind of the same thing. It's a fork. But what I'm trying to say is that Ethereum Classic, people are going to see this and they're going to be, oh snap, it's $23, right? It might be $60 by then, but let's just say they're going to be like, oh, it's $23. So they're going to quickly buy up Ethereum Classic, thinking that they're holding on or buying a cheaper Ethereum, because Ethereum is going to be over. I think my price target for Ethereum, and a lot of people deny this, I think Ethereum is going to be worth over $6,000 to $8,000 in this next parabolic run. So I do expect a lot of money to be inflowing into DeFi, right? So I'm actually more bullish on DeFi than anything. Like, I would quadruple down on DeFi right now, and a lot of these L1s and L2s, that's what I would be like quadrupling down. I think we should all go ahead and start buying some Bitcoin. I think we should definitely at least own one Bitcoin. I'm gonna make that a goal. I wish I would have made that a goal earlier, bro. You know what I mean? With all the money that I've lost, I could have at least owned one Bitcoin, but I don't. But what I'm trying to say is, I think we should also be holding on to Ethereum pretty well. I think Ethereum's more of that, what do you want to call it? It's more of a technology, if that makes any sense. Just look at Ethereum as Amazon, right? Like, Ethereum's not going to go bad for you, bro. Like, Ethereum's like one of those where I think it's worth holding even long term. We saw its top at $4,000, so I do believe we could probably even see $8,000 with the Ethereum ETF, which I could guarantee you is also going to get approved. And then we're also going to go ahead and be left with a Solana ETF. Then we're going to go ahead and have, for sure, we're not going to have a BNB ETF. That's not going to happen. But we'll probably have like an Avalanche ETF. I could even bet you we'll probably have a Dogecoin ETF by then. A lot of these top tokens are going to become ETFs, and that's only for big money to go ahead and have more exposure to the market, as I'm telling you, because the fact is that we're eventually going to have a lot of that money inflowing from the stock market moving into crypto. But right now they're both needed for a correction. So and I think as soon as we get this presidential election thing going on, I think it's this year, right? I don't even freaking know, dude. I don't even freaking know. And honestly, I really don't care, because whatever Muppet they choose in office is not really going to change much. I know a lot of people think that it definitely is. I say otherwise. I don't know, man. I don't want to get too controversial because people get freaking offended. Not that I care. But then the videos get demonetized, and then they just don't get pushed as much. So I just have to be a little neutral to what I say, right? But I mean, we're seeing a pump on Bitcoin right now. Now we finally get that $46,000 pump that we were waiting for. So we're seeing that. Nice. And I think we'll probably see more volatility right now in about 2 more hours. As soon as Asian market opens and London session, I think we will be seeing a lot more volatility in the next couple hours. So we should be seeing this thing squeeze up to the upside. Yeah, ETH is going crazy. ETH exploit led to ETC. They were. Okay, that's what it was. So it was the other way around. Can't wait for the halving. I'm going to be a millionaire. Nice. ETH going to be at 10K. Want to bet 1K. I'm pretty sure Ethereum's going to at least $8,000. $8,000 at the max. Probably $10,000. I agree with you, Key. You still owe me a dinner, so why would I bet you $1,000 when you still owe me a dinner? Piff says, holy snap, alter pumping like crazy right now. Let's freaking go. Everything is up 10 to 30%. Yeah, dude. We're gonna get a lot of volatility by tomorrow. Trust. There's gonna be a lot of freaking volatility by tomorrow. Like, just imagine how excited the stock market is. Like if you think the crypto sector is excited about the ETF, dude. Wall Street's freaking excited. I'm telling you this. This is why I believe this is going to happen. We're going to see the US 100 make freaking new all-time highs, and you're seeing the RSI getting ready to break through. So we're getting ready to squeeze to the upside and make a massive pump on the US 100. So I do believe that Thursday and Friday are going to be a very green time in the markets. Very green times. I'm actually going to probably live stream a little bit earlier tomorrow. So typically my time, Pacific Standard Time, is 8 for the stock market to go live. I believe 765. Yes. Eastern Standard Time, stock market opens at 6, if I could recall. It's been a while, dude. I used to wake up early for the stock market to trade. I don't trade the stock market anymore, so I don't wake up at that time. When I do trade now, when I do trade crypto, I usually trade session. I usually trade the Asian session and the London session, so it's typically at night my time zone. So I don't wake up at the time anymore. But I think it's around 5 or 6 Eastern Standard Time when the stock market opens. So I might actually go ahead and live stream tomorrow a lot earlier. I might probably even live stream 3 times tomorrow. Now that I'm actually thinking about it. Because there could be a probability we might not have that much action in the morning, but I'm sure we're going to have some action opening New York session. We're going to have freaking the stock market go crazy. We're going to have freaking Bitcoin go crazy. We're going to have the whole sector go crazy leading on to Friday. And then we could probably have a continued run up for another, probably for like another week and a half. I see it at the most. Week and a half is what I see. I don't know. Maybe I'm cutting it a little too short, but I'm giving it a 2 weeks period before we see a correction in the market. So that would kind of bring 54,530. Like, I'm telling you, like, I think 48,200 is going to get broken pretty easily, in my opinion. Even though this is a Fibonacci 618 retracement, which technically would go ahead and get rejected. But I think based on the momentum that we're finally getting, and we're going to be getting as soon as London and Asian session wakes up, as you're seeing, 48,200 is the 618 retracement. So I think we'll have enough momentum to break past through that. And we will probably be seeing $54,000. But now the thing is, dude, how big is a correction going to be? Is it going to be 40,000? Is it going to be 40% correction? Imagine $54,000 Bitcoin with a 40% correction. We're going to be looking at around, oh, that still takes us to around $32,000, which would be my price target. So that would make sense. So even at, $54,000 Bitcoin, which I think we're going to be heading towards these in the next couple of days, we might even see that by Friday, honestly. If we continue with this momentum that we're seeing right now in the market, I think the correction will be a 40% correction on Bitcoin. I think so. I don't see it going any more than that. And that's just due to the fact that a lot of traders are seeing that Bitcoin has a very strong support at $32,000. So it's actually a pretty good area of support. $32,000 is actually a really good area of support. Besides that, I feel like Bitcoin doesn't really have much support. I mean, this is not really an area of support I would consider. No area of support. So if this thing does come back up, this thing's gonna come collapsing down like nothing ever happened. But as Black Ranger says, you got to zoom out, man. What is this? What is this creating for us? A massive cup and handle pattern. So this thing's gonna freaking moon, bro. So regardless whether I'm bearish or not, this thing long term is gonna freaking moon, bro. This thing's super bearish. I mean, look at where Bitcoin's gonna be heading. $100,000 Bitcoin. I think maybe $80,000 might be the top, but I might be cutting myself short because now we have the ETF approval, I guess, right? But I think anywhere between 80 to around 90 is going to be the top for Bitcoin, in my opinion. But that's what I see Bitcoin doing in the next couple months. So, and I also believe the stock market is going to continue to make new all-time highs. So with that being said, I would be longing the market and just buying the dips. I wouldn't be leverage trading right now, at least for me personally. At least not Bitcoin. I wouldn't be leverage trading Bitcoin right now. You could ride the momentum to the upside, but I think there's more downside than upside, and it's a higher risk. As I'm saying, if you were looking to long the market, you should have been longing the market right here. That's where you should have been longing the market going all in, not at the top. You don't ever long the top. Everything's up 10, 30%. Oh yeah, I was about to say Tectum is 41. What is Tectum, bro? I think you've been telling us about Tectum. Let's see Tectum. Tectum. Let's see Tectum. No, Key, you owe me dinner. My Coinbase account is up 4K in an hour. I never seen it go up that fast. Literally all my stuff are going up. Nice, 4K in an hour. I think I should sell everything. Well, it depends what you're holding on to, bro. If you're holding on to a lot of your assets on Coinbase, I'm assuming you're probably buying for the longer term. Not financial advice. I wouldn't sell. Especially if you're holding on to altcoins, because altcoins are going to be pumping as soon as we have the correction with Bitcoin. So I wouldn't be selling altcoins right now. This is literally the beginning of altcoin season. Like, altcoin season hasn't even started. The only thing that I wouldn't be buying right now would be Bitcoin. That's just me personally. I think it's we're at some tops right now. What is this Tectum? Is this its own blockchain? Let's see this. The fastest blockchain for all industries. I think I remember he told us about this. Is this a government entity? Oh no, it's not. I was about to say. Yeah, dude, I've never heard of this blockchain, bro. I've heard it from you, but besides that, like, I don't, dude, this is freaking insane. This thing literally pumped from $10 all the way to 41 bucks. Literally in what, from December, from $10 to $40. That's a what, 4x? 4 or 5x? Like, why isn't anybody talking about Tectum? I haven't heard anybody talk about Tectum. It's insane. Probably I should make a video on that. Welcome everybody, by the way, that's tuning into the channel. Smash that like button for me. You know, the person that made Bitcoin is worth 46 billion. That's insane. He's like the 6th rich person in the world. That's insane. Once Bitcoin hits 100K, he will be worth 100 billion. Do you think he owns Satoshi or whoever, you know, the group that created Bitcoin owns any Bitcoin? I don't know. I feel like Bitcoin was created by the CIA, bro. I'm maybe too much of a conspiracy theorist, but I feel like it was a freaking government entity, bro. It just all would make sense. Think about it. Collapse the dollar, issue a digital currency. They make people believe that digital is the way to go. Now they have no way to go ahead and escape control because it's all digital, and now we're all under their fingertips. I don't know. Maybe I'm too much of a conspiracy theorist, to be honest. Vitalik probably has a lot. Steven, how's it going, buddy? Hope you're having a good one today, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Can you share the smart contract for SpongeBob key? That'd be great. Only 10 million total supply. 10 million total supply on Bitcoin? Or on Talcum. That's insane. That's the reason why. Do you think Pepe related meme coins will do good in altcoin season? I think they will, bro. I started telling you at $10. That's right. That's right. No wonder I was like, it sounds familiar. I think I remember that. He owns 1 million tokens. The NSA released a paper about it in 2008 or 2011 on Bitcoin. Can you share the smart contract key? I gotta see that paper that the NSA released on Bitcoin, bro. It just would make all sense, bro. If you really think about it, if you really like deeply think about it, like they're trying to prevent privacy coins, right? Which, as we were talking about these last couple weeks, like I was mentioning how like one of the biggest assets that we truly have is not Bitcoin, is not a digital currency, it's not an NFT, it's our data. You know what I mean? So with our data is so valuable, yet we don't protect our data, yet we don't own our own data, right? So like when we're texting, we're on the phones, or whatever we're buying, we're purchasing, we're giving our rights to our data every freaking day, right? So like the only way you could really protect yourself against data and I guess, you know, people harvesting your data is being completely off the grid, which now in this digital age that we live in, I don't think anybody will make it. You know, you would have to probably like live like literally in the middle of nowhere where there's no towers, but yeah, we have satellites. So I don't think there's any way to really escape this digital age that we're in. But I mean, just our phones, including, you know, the YouTube videos we watch, the music we listen to, what we eat, what we purchase on our credit cards, the kind of games we watch, like this is all data that's being harvested from us and then being sold to third parties. And then this is the way we're able to get marketed. So if you really consider this and really think about it, people are like, oh, who created Bitcoin, right? Satoshi Nakamoto, whatever the case is. I don't know, man. I feel like the CIA created Bitcoin, and it would just make sense. The CIA creates Bitcoin, gets people transacting into the dark web. The way the person that got, you know, tracked on the Silk Road, I think was they got tracked through their wallet. I think from what I can remember, I think it was Silk Road, which is one of the ways they ended up finding the person who was behind the Silk Road, one of the biggest dark web vendors. And if you think about it, who pretty much opened up, you know, the dark web? The freaking the government, bro. It was the same thing. The Navy, the U.S. Navy actually funded freaking the onion router, or whatever it's called, the onion browser. I think it is considered an onion router. That's what it's called, onion. So like if you really start to consider all of this, it's like, dude, it just seems like everything's just kind of a trap, you know? It's like they released the onion, which is one of the ways to go ahead and navigate on the Tor browser, onion Tor browser, whatever the heck it's called, bro. I haven't been on that in a cool minute. And then they go ahead and now you could go ahead and do dark webs. They released this currency called Bitcoin, which a lot of people were transacting on. And the vendor that got caught, from my understanding, got caught through, they caught him through I think he was on a forum and he had his address, his Bitcoin address or something like that. And that's how they were able to find him. So they were able to find him, from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, if I can remember, through the blockchain, pretty much. I don't think they were able to track his IP through the blockchain, but probably he had his. So what happened, from my understanding, he was on a public, or let's say, what is it called? Frick, dude, I can't remember my terms. So you have see, there's different layers to the web, right? We have the surface, which we're accessing right now, and then you have the dark web, which is the under layers, where you can go ahead and find a lot of this crazy information and download things and do all this. And from my understanding, he published something, let's say like on a Reddit, and he had the same name that was that he was using on the dark web, on another dark web forum. And that's how they were able to track his IP address. If I could remember, that's what it was. And that's how they were able to track him. You know, because when we're logging into Twitter, when we're logging into Discord or whatever the case is, a lot of these companies keep backlogs of everything that we're logging into and the location we're logging into through our IP, right? Which then they're able to go ahead and contact the companies that you're with on that end. Anyways, with what I'm trying to say, without having to get too technical with this, what I'm trying to say is they released this currency that they were using in the dark web with Bitcoin, and yeah, Bitcoin is so traceable, bro. Like so freaking traceable. Like that's what I found out about Bitcoin, bro, because I was using Bitcoin in the dark web. That's the only reason why I would purchase Bitcoin. And I'm sure a lot of people that got exposed to Bitcoin was because they were navigating the black web, buying things in the dark web with Bitcoin. But then when you go ahead and consider this, it's like, dude, it's like Bitcoin's so traceable. So like when it comes to all of this, it just kind of makes no sense. So like we have that happen, and now we're having an ETF approval happen, and now we so happen to have where, you know, literally almost every currency in the world is collapsing, and they're trying to push into the CBDC, which is a central bank digital currency. But if we're already all kind of like psyoped about Bitcoin and digital, it's not going to be no surprise when we start transacting in digital, right? Like I don't even transact in dollars, bro. I transact all in crypto. Like all my transactions are done through crypto. The way I purchase everything is all digital. I don't even use a debit card or any of that, or a credit card. I use my phone. And then eventually I'll probably use like my forehead. I'll probably scan my forehead when I'm buying stuff, you know, probably like tap my forehead on the on the little register for my orders to go through. And I think that'd be so freaking convenient, bro. Like literally to the point where like if they were to say like, would I be down to get a chip inserted into my hand where I could just tap and I could pay? I would so freaking do it. Why? Because of the convenience of technology, right? So we're getting into this digital age where convenience is a lot more better than having to deal with all this. So I don't know. I think it makes sense. Maybe I'm overanalyzing all of this. 1996. I got to see this, man. I want to see this right here. We're going to read this article, bro. This is freaking interesting. This is what gets me excited when I read stuff like this. I know I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, but dude, like you have to question everything in the world. If you don't, dude, I don't know what's wrong with you. Like this is the only way I think you're able to stay ahead of the herd is by questioning everything that goes on. It's the reason why I'm so like neutral with a lot of these things. I don't believe in this freaking ETF dude, there's always a reason behind it. You know, I always question everything. It was a whole documentary. We all know the person that made Bitcoin, he for freedom. Dude, I really doubt, you really think they're going to go ahead and let the person live who created Bitcoin? I think it's fake. And clearly he still can't be found. Because the CIA killed him. That makes sense. That would make sense. The CIA would kill Satoshi if that was even a person. I feel like Satoshi was probably a group, bro. I don't know. Okay, let's read this. Recent buzz with crypto circles revolves around a 1996 research paper from the U.S. National Security Agency. Speculation lay the groundwork for Bitcoin. Indeed, there are striking similarities between the NSA document and the Bitcoin white paper. However, a detailed look suggests a tighter connection and centralized models described years prior. From NSA's vaults to Satoshi's vision, tracing Bitcoin's alleged origins. Bitcoin, whose existence is widely attributed to the exclusive Satoshi Nakamoto, now has whispers suggesting that its true origin might be U.S. Department of Defense intelligence. Dude, this does not freaking surprise me. Like the fact that I literally just freaking said that, like this wouldn't surprise me one bit. Has gained traction on the social media platform as they invented Bitcoin. 1996 paper titled "How to Make a Mint: The Cryptography of Anonymous Electric Cash." Sources include Tatsuki Okamoto, who else would be able to sit anonymously on 1 million coins. Oh, and he invented SH256. What is SH256? We could probably even use ChatGPT for this, dude. Okay, secured hash algorithm, 256-bit hash function that belongs to 2FA family. It's widely used in various security applications and protocols to ensure data integrity. Cryptographic hash function takes input. So it's, okay, key properties, output, collision. Oh, under interesting. Now let's say concise it. That's interesting. That is freaking interesting. That is super interesting. The NSA document receiving attention is a new media outlet tackled its years ago through the surface in 2021. The piece got archived on June 6th. The write-up also touched on NSA's creation of... Dude, that would make so much sense. Like, this wouldn't surprise me. Even before Bitcoin's inception in 2005, leaks revealed the NSA and Pentagon poured vast resources to supercomputers, expensive data facilities in Utah and Maryland. By 2011, NSA has developed an 895.6 supercomputing hub in Fort Meld, Maryland, initially drawing more than 60 megawatts of power. Beyond these tech marvels, NSA allegedly monitored Bitcoin users in 2013. This came courtesy of a whistleblower, Edward, from a Freedom of Information. NSA reported tracked Bitcoin enthusiasts using its MEXC score software capable of pinpointing users' internet protocol address. The Monkey Rocket program was at the helm of this operation, described as a non-Western internet anonymized service. Monkey Rocket leveraged full-take surveillance. This is freaking insane, dude. Yeah, as history often repeats, the 1996 NSA paper is once again a hot topic on social platforms, catching the attention of crypto influencers. I actually do believe this, commented. Dude, who wouldn't freaking believe this? Like if you don't believe this, dude, I don't know what's wrong with our world. Let's get a little bit more information of how much ChatGPT could even offer us, right? This is really interesting. I want to know who Edward is, because we might find some information about him. Yeah, whatever, ChatGPT. Is a former NSA CIA contractor who leaked classified documents in 2013, revealing extensive global surveillance programs. He sought asylum in Russia after fleeing the U.S. and is considered a whistleblower by some and a traitor by others. Damn, dude, is Edward the creator of Bitcoin? That's interesting, you know? I mean, this would make sense. The global surveillance programs, you know, this goes back to what I'm telling you about Bitcoin, you know. But this is some conspiracy things. I mean, it's really not going to change anything. Whether, I mean, we're kind of effed already. Like, I'm sorry to tell you, like, if you were to ask me, hey, John, is there any way to avoid any of this? Not really. I mean, we're kind of screwed already. The only thing we could do is just be there for one another, and that's it. Because at the end of the day, we're all we have. We're all we have. That's why I get a little disappointed when everybody's cheering for the ETF, because the ETF is not for the people. It's not for the people. It's for the people that freaking control this. It's not for you and I. Monkey Rocket does not appear to be a widely recognized term or concept. As of my knowledge, it's probably some freaking surveillance program or something that they were working on with the NSA. It's crazy, man. If you actually go ahead and see what they do, bro, it's quite interesting. Like, if you dive deep into, I like the information you have, freaking Dab, dude. I can't imagine how much more information you have, dude. Like, I could probably have like a good talk with you. Because I like getting into these kind of things. Like, it's actually quite scary too. If you actually listen and actually like pay attention to all of this. The NSA's thousands of spies, analysts, support staff of the U.S. military led to intelligence collectors. Created in 1952, the agency is charged with intercepting foreign communications, cracking codes, tapping, track down terrorists, and defending U.S. Dude, it's like, for example, like, do you think all this technology that they use is not being used against the people? You know, that's kind of the crazy thing. Like, I've like the same thing with, like, you know how they do psyops in the military too when they're in war. You really think they don't do that for the people as well? It's crazy, huh? Super, super crazy. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I mean, there's nothing you and I can do about it. I think it's just really, really fascinating and really interesting how everything kind of comes together, how all this technology really comes together. I have a lot of somewhat of a conspiracy theories. Dude, you have to give me some of that information on Discord, because I think that's enough of conspiracy theories for the day on live stream. I don't think I should be sharing any of this to begin with, but definitely if you guys want to go ahead and get some more of these crazy conversations, like I'm definitely going to hit you up, freaking Dad Master, because now it doesn't make me feel as crazy, you know what I mean? Because like when you're diving into things like this, bro, you kind of feel a little crazy. I'm gonna be honest. You start to feel a little crazy. You're like, dude, maybe I'm a little too paranoid, maybe I'm a little way too crazy. But when you start start really thinking about this, it's like, that's freaking crazy, bro. They can really control the weather. It's like they control everything, you know? So that's why I had hope for Bitcoin, you know, I had hope for DeFi, because I was like, dude, this is finally something they don't control. Then I took a couple steps back and I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure they'll get the control, or they'll have the control eventually. And that's actually what we're seeing unwind in front of our eyes, which is kind of the scary part. But as I mentioned, we really can't do anything about it. The only thing we could really do is just join their game. I mean, I wish I had a plan to tell you, like, hey guys, this is the way we could go ahead and fight against the system, but we really can't. There's really no way to fight against the system. The only thing we could do is just be here for one another as a community and just help each other out and just make money on this run up. That's really the only way we could do it. That's really the only freaking way we could do it. They obviously have their own tricks up their sleeves. You know, division's one of the biggest ones. They like to keep people divided based on, you know, religion, you know, sex, color, and all of that, and that's one of the best ways they do it too. It's through separation of what I just mentioned. So that's what I'm saying. The only thing we could do is just come united as a community, right? Come united as a team. We're here to make money, dude. I'm here to freaking make money. But the only difference is that I question everything that's out there. Right? Not that I'm gonna do anything about it, because there's nothing I could do, right? Dude, we're being freaking spied on our phones to begin with. You know, what we browse on our phones, the digital cameras we have around our houses, you know, the cameras on our phones. You know, we're being spied on already. Like, if you don't believe it, dude, you're delusional. You gotta wake up. You gotta freaking wake up. So the only way to go away from it is not living a digital life. Which I could go ahead and tell you that I wouldn't be able to do that, bro. I'm too connected to this digital world that I don't think I could go back to non-digital. Like, I would do it for a while, but like the way my life revolves around the digital world, I don't think I'd be capable of doing that. So you just kind of have to live with it. So I'm just kind of living with it. I'm just like, yeah, I know I'm being spied on, bro. So what? They could watch me all they want. I don't live an interesting life. Pip Daddy says you can vote for Trump. That's our only chance of fighting the system. Imagine knocking in the door right now, FBI. For reals, bro. For reals. They're like... You can't make that thing up, bro. That's the reason why I was like, you know what? I think I'm better to just keep my mouth shut. I'm like, I'm better off just not saying anything, getting off this topic, because... I mean, Piff Daddy, I agree to disagree, right, man? I think the system we're in, dude, and look, I don't like getting too political, because I'm very neutral, right? Because I even think the political world it's made to separate one another, right? I think, you know, the left or the right is is in order to keep that separation, right? And they're doing a freaking good job at it, man. There's literally people that have these differences in your everyday interaction that, in my opinion, I don't think no politician could change what's going on. At the end of the day, whoever gets chosen in office is going to be told what to do, and I really don't think we have a representation as a community, as a country, worldwide, to the worldwide leaders and politicians. That's just solely my opinion. As I mentioned, I'm not here to really convince anybody otherwise, but I just think, in my opinion, we really don't have any saying into any of this. If we did, a lot of this wouldn't be happening. You know what I mean? But, you know, separation is the best way they do it. And one of them, it's through the political world. You know, the religion's another one that they do really a freaking really good phenomenal freaking job at it, you know, left or right. At the end of the day, we're all freaking people, man. But see, they make us think otherwise. So I don't think anybody's here to save us, man. I think we only got each other to save us. That's my mentality. This is the reason why, like, I like looking into this with Bitcoin, the ETF, understanding how Bitcoin dominance happens, how altcoins happen, how meme coins happens, how this moves, how the Federal Reserve, you know, pumps this market, how wars pump the stock market and pump crypto. Like, it's crazy when you actually think about, like, war is all money. It's all a money machine. It's the way to go ahead and print money into the market. And that's the way they inflate the market, you know, through wars, which unfortunately people have to die on the other end, you know, but people really never look at it that kind of way. They just really kind of ignore it. And the thing that I'm trying to say is, regardless, the NSA created Bitcoin, which I'm pretty sure they did, in order to go ahead and have more control, in order for us to no longer have privacy, which we don't have privacy to begin with. Regardless of that, there's nothing we could do about it. No politicians here to save us. Nothing we could do to save any of this. The only thing we could do is make a lot of freaking money. That's the only thing we could do. The only thing we could do is make a whole lot of freaking money, be there for one another, care for one another, and that's it. That's all we could do. Help each other out, because we're on the same team, right? Regardless of color, religion, beliefs in the political system, we're all in this together, dude. We're all in this together. Whatever plan they have going on, we're all gonna get wrecked. I'm sure the politicians have their freaking volts, and that's why they're freaking looking at live in freaking Mars, dude. Because, you know, they're the ones at the top in the world are gonna be the ones making it out if anything happens. You know, but once all of this comes crashing down, who's going to be affected? You and I. The politicians are not going to be affected, bro. The only people the politicians care about is themselves and their families. As they should, right? As they should. And we're kind of in this same case scenario, right? We should care about how much, we should really be focusing on how much money we can make. So if anything crazy was to ever happen, I don't know, maybe freaking get away from this digital world. Maybe go ahead and buy your own island and, you know, live up with your family, or create your own state or country. I don't know how that works, but I'm sure you could do anything with money. You know, as long as you have money, you could do anything. See, and that's what we have to be pushing forward to. It's like there's really not much we could do right now with what's going on. I mean, we're about to hit $47,000 Bitcoin right now, so we might actually have that breakthrough at $48,000. So $47,000 Bitcoin's around the corner. With that being said, I do want to go ahead and say, which soundboard should we use? Which one's this one right here? Yeah, this is the drum set. It's pretty good. I like the drum set. This one's pretty cool too. I've never used this one. This one's pretty good too. But as I'm saying, you know, the only thing we could do is make a lot of money, and if anything ever happens, just have each other's back, man. Because I've already formed a lot of relationships with a lot of you, like straight up, like with a lot of you. Like, even though I don't see you, but I feel that connection. I feel that connection with a lot of you, and I think that's the beauty of what we could do with digital as well, right? We could go ahead and reach a lot of people, but it just depends on the way you want to do it. And the way that I'm encouraging people to do it is to be supportive of one another. You know, at the end of the day, we're all freaking humans. We all have our differences. There's going to be people that agree with us or disagree. But at the end of the day, we should just care for those around us. And most importantly, stick together as a team, bro. Because think about it. Let's say we all make a lot of freaking money as a community, right? The decentralized titans make a lot of money, right? Let's say we make millions off of this bull run, and let's say the world starts collapsing for whatever reason. You know, there's a freaking purge going on. We can literally put our money all together, freaking build out this sick fort, buy a lot of weapons, buy a lot of food, and we're set, dude. Ready to protect one another, ready to protect our families. See, that's what we should be thinking of. Not thinking of like, you know, who in office is going to come save us. I don't think anybody's here to save us but ourselves. Everybody's relying on us. Our families are relying on us. Think about that. Nobody else is going to do anything but us. We're the ones that have to make the change. And this is the reason why this is so important, right? Piff Daddy says, it's pretty obvious when the system is fighting someone so hard that the person is the enemy of the system. I wish more Americans would understand that. I agree with you 100%, bro. I agree with you 100%. And the left and the right work for the same side. I agree with you, man. See, this is what I like about my community. I have some very smart individuals here that actually have brain cells. I like hearing this. You're absolutely right about wars. That's why there was actually peace in the Middle East for once when the last president was in. The establishment hated that and all the peace agreements out there. 100%. This is the reason why we also have higher prices of inflation. Because war causes that, right? And with war, there's more money. And it's as simple as that. That's why the stock market has been also pumping like crazy. Bitfarms is looking good. Let's go ahead and look at that. Bro, last person to comment had their comment deleted. Before Dabmaster. I think they deleted it. Mild. What'd you say, bro? YouTube does that a lot, I've noticed. I'm sure most of my comments didn't go through before. LOL. Yeah, dude. I mean, the only time I saw one of Dabmaster's comments get deleted, but a lot of the times when the comments get deleted, it's either because there's kind of some words that are said that, you know, YouTube automatically takes and considers it as like hate speech or something that automatically deletes it. So I don't control any of the comments, but I'm always open for open criticism or anything, you know. I think it's really important for you know, for us to have this kind of conversation, because this kind of takes us back to step one of Bitcoin, right? And it kind of goes back to everything that we're talking about. I deleted it myself. Man, I wrote the wrong thing. All right, man. I thought the NSA was watching us or something, man. We were already getting a little freaked out. At least I was. Now I'm getting paranoid, bro. Oh, you can't make this thing up, man. You can't make this thing up. So we're literally about to see Bitcoin probably make new all-time highs right now live. That'd be so cool. Hopefully we do. Yeah, but crazy things, man. Crazy freaking things. Like, just be prepared. This is what's going to happen, right? So coming this year, we're going to expect higher inflation. We're already expecting the car market coming at a decline. Car market has already plummeted over 40% on the used cars. We're also seeing real estate somewhat taking a beat, but I think real estate might actually continue to go up higher. We're seeing commercial real estate slightly decline, and I'm assuming that's probably due to the fact that we're having a lot of jobs are now remote, so a lot of people don't have to go into office. And then two, you also have to remember a lot of these businesses that were in person, physical locations, were mostly mom and pops locations, right? So, you know, the cost of rent when it comes to these commercial buildings, insurance is also going up. You're having a lot of these prices go up, right? So also real estate, it's looking a little interesting from what I've been hearing, that insurance has been going up. So people that are living on fixed incomes or you know, whatever the case is, and or have a couple properties, I think most of those people are going to be the ones that are going to be getting affected, which comes out to be the upper middle class, right? So we've been talking about this. I haven't really talked about it as much because I kind of like stepped away from talking about a lot of this crazy stuff. But you know, the whole goal of this world system is to have a world where there's only two. You either have money or you don't. It's not going to be no more middle class. You know, there's only going to be two classes. It's either you have money or you don't have money. It's not going to be you're doing kind of well in life. You have this. No, it's the whole entire goal is to destroy the middle class. So the people that are mostly going to get affected are going to be the people that are living on fixed incomes, that are no longer producing, you know, money, income coming in, or they're retired. And that sucks, bro. That really sucks. And then comes my generation that we're freaking screwed. We're super screwed. People in my generation, we're so screwed, man. We're so freaking screwed. This is the reason the only solution we have is Bitcoin and crypto. That's our solution to our problems. It's all we could do. We can't sit here, complain, and cry all we want. But at the end of the day, it's not going to do anything. The only way we could stay up to date with the market is make a lot of freaking money. That's why we have to make a lot of money, because this market is just going to get worse. It's going to get worse. I'm telling you, overall, inflation is going to get worse. Housing is going to get worse. Everything's going to get worse. And the only way to fix this is by making more money. That's really the only way we could do it. We could also be expecting a lot of corporate layoffs coming up. I believe I saw an article of BlackRock actually laying off a lot of their employees. A lot of their corporate employees. So this kind of sucks. And we're talking about, you know, this whole entire thing with freaking, okay. Look at this right here. So this was actually, it was about 12 months ago. We see BlackRock is cutting up to 500 staffers, or as little as 3% of the workforce worldwide. Asset management firms' revenue fell 15% over a year in the first 9 months of 2022. Deal making slowed and the market took a dive. Assets under management also fell by 1.5 trillion during that period. CEO Larry wrote in a memo that the move aims to adapt our workforce to align even more closely with our strategic priorities. My partner received a call this morning that was a team dissolved at Goldman Sachs. He was just gotten off the phone with a client, only for a boss multiple levels to be calling him, hey, we haven't really talked about this before, like us to me, but we're just discussing this role. Follow with the details for servants and notifications that the access was already revoked. Corporate loyalty has never been, I don't know what that means, for the individual. Their money makers, even Salesforce let go of their ONA. I don't know what that is, but yeah, this kind of tells you. And this was posted about a year ago. You know, this was posted about a year ago. So, dude, a lot of freaking corporate layoffs are going to be coming up this freaking year. Let's see. Is there another article? Where's the other article at? Okay, right here. January 11th, 2023. Wait, this is last year. I'm tripping, dude. This is last year. But you see this, you know, BlackRock is cutting 500 jobs as Wall Street layoffs continue. This is probably the reason why they're pushing for that damn ETF, man. Because they're also, like, down in money. So, you know how we talked about that? Like, it just comes to tell you, like, what's going on right now, too. Apparently, freaking unemployment numbers have been coming down, but I really freaking doubt it, dude. Look at this. This is tech layoffs, bro. The last month in the year fraud with layoffs didn't hold many surprises. Reported tech workforces cut its work leads. Like, dude, I was literally like, what are these latest tech layoffs? Look at all these freaking tech layoffs, bro. These were all recent too. The company closed down on December 31st, 2023. Strake. And some of these are private, so they're not going to tell us like how many people, like, you know, got cut down. Intel as well. Number of reported 311. This was back in announced 12/21. We also have this one right here, dude. So a lot of people got laid off for Christmas. That freaking sucks. You know, that's what their surprise was. Like, hey, surprise, yeah, the company's closing. Look at all these big corporations. Raytheon, yeah, Raytheon, dude, Raytheon did a lot of cutoffs too, which was like hot back in the EV times, which was I believe 2017 or 2018. You're seeing, look, Nvidia, Twilio, dude, these are pretty major companies in the tech sector. VMware, they did about 2,000 layoffs. Like, dude, even for me, dude, like I used to be a tech sales rep, an account executive and all that. Dude, these last couple years since the pandemic, like, it's been so difficult to keep a job in the tech sector without the company either one going completely down, or two, doing massive layoffs after they hire. Because of the fact, even Twitch did some too, because of the fact that it's right now, even I was even reading on a Reddit post, bro, like recently, a few days ago, and I was hearing how like a lot of people were saying is like, dude, it's been so difficult for me to keep a job in the tech world that's longer than 6 months. And I agree, dude, because I've literally worked with so many freaking companies in the last 2 to 3 years that, you know, the max was around 6 months before they did any massive layoffs again. Look at all these big companies, man. LinkedIn as well, dude. LinkedIn did how many? And this is what people don't understand. These are people that like are making pretty good money. Like most of these people right here, especially in the tech world, like you're at least making like 80,000 to at least 6 figures plus. And if you're in the senior positions, you're making like 300,000 plus a year. So like you have to also keep in mind, a lot of these people are like probably have like very expensive, you know, mortgages, you know, things like that. Even Magic Eden did a lot of layoffs back in 2023, but this is all 2023 from what it looks like. But dude, I could expect more of this moving forward. So yeah, so some of them are mixed between 2023 and 2024 is what it seems like. Most of them are 2023, but I'm sure a lot of them will be coming 2024 as well. It's actually quite crazy. 47,352. We're so close to breaking $48,000. Solana 103. Bitcoin is taking off. Yes, it is. Snake is up 20%. LOL. Hey, surprise, you're fired. Yeah, dude, that's kind of effed up, huh? They're like, hey, surprise. Yeah, Merry Christmas, you're fired. The worst part is that most of these corporate jobs, bro, they won't even call you, bro. You wouldn't even have the CEO call you, or not even your manager. The worst part is that HR gets to you and they just send you an email. And the only way you know you're fired is when they disable your email. Like, I'm sure a lot of you have had that feeling. And if you've never had, I wish you never have that feeling. But that's the worst feeling, bro. When you're just one day minding your own business, you go onto your company computer, you open up your company computer, like, yeah, dude, let's freaking kill it, let's make some freaking sales today, and you open up your computer just to see your email to be disabled, and you're like, what the heck is going on, bro? And you're over here freaking out, thinking you got hacked, thinking the worst. You're like, oh, my freaking my clients, like, I was about to close some major deals. You go onto your personal email and there you see HR, dude. HR with an email talking about, yeah, sign this, this is going to be your last pay. It's like the freaking worst, bro. You don't even get a phone call to tell you what the heck's going on. They just fire you. Worst feeling ever, man. GM fam. Yeah, GM fam, dude. Dab Master, I wanted to tell you too, bro. Sorry about GM fam, because I know I was supposed to make a video, like, dude, probably like a month and a half ago, if I'm not mistaken, when I was in Arizona, and I completely forgot about it. I'm gonna make that. Dude, I have a really bad memory. I have to start writing down a lot of these things, right? Just know I don't do this on purpose, chat. I just get distracted very easily. Bobo is also good. Let's look at Bobo. Yeah, hopefully we could go ahead and get some tokens. Hopefully we could go ahead and get like crypto pumping as we're speaking. But yeah, super effed up, bro. Super effed up. Oh, I remember Bobo. Bobo's up 33%. Let's freaking go. Yeah, I think this is pretty bullish too. GM fam on the 4 hourly. What are the announcements for GM fam? Yeah, GM fam does look pretty good. And by the way, chat, I forgot to freaking shill all my links. But if you want to go and support the channel, make sure to use my links down below. BingX is giving all the way up to $5,000. MEXC is giving all the way up to $20,000. These two exchanges are no KYC. And then we have Bybit, which is one of the best exchanges. They do require KYC and they are blocked by some regions. So if you could go ahead and use Bybit, I would recommend everybody to use Bybit. And if not, I would say use BingX or MEXC, which are no KYC. There's been a lot of FUD with MEXC, so I would say show some love with BingX. And as well, go ahead and make sure to go ahead and use NordVPN, which they're offering 69% off with 3 months extra. So that's my shill for today. Now let's get back to what we were talking about. Discord. Now it's time to has a big announcement next week. Discord is the next announcement. Just saw 6 million what? Just saw $6 million buy in Deutsche Wi-Fi on Sol. No way, dude. No way. Where's Deutsche Wi-Fi? Can you post a smart contract? I want to see it. Hey, Slow has been doing pretty well too. I know Dabmaster has been chilling slow for a cool minute. This thing looks like it's getting ready for another pump to an upside as well. Can you share the smart contract, bro? That'd be sick. Welcome everybody tuning in. Turn on that post notifications. Oh yeah, dude, lost a ton of money. On what? Some guy put freaking $6 million buy on size or on freaking on dog with a hat. Dog Wi-Fi. Imagine having $6 million to throw at a freaking meme token, bro. Like, how much of a degen are you to do that? $6 million. I want to see a $6 million buy. I want to see what that looks like. Damn, dude, there's actually a lot of freaking degens and freaking dog with a hat throwing like 15, 30 grand in this thing. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense. I mean, I'm assuming like a 30 grand freaking transaction can make you like a cool, you know, $3,000 to $4,000 on that little pump. I mean, $96,000, bro. That's insane. That is insane. I can't imagine what $6 million looks like. What does a $6 million transaction look like, bro? I would like to see that. You can't buy 6 million on a meme coin. Oh, how did that guy buy 6 million? Oh, snap. You're talking about this wick right here, bro? That is insane. Is that what causes wick? This thing's pumping. Pumping, pumping, pumping. Let's pamp it up. Damn, this thing's mooning right now. I'd do a leverage position if I had leverage. We're probably going to see this Bitcoin breakout of $48,000 very, very soon as well. Look at that. It just means he rugged himself. What an idiot, dude. Well, I don't know to congratulate someone throwing in $8 million or $6 million into a meme token or not. Dude, I low-key want to end the stream now, to be honest, but I feel like just the perfect time is just coming in right now. We're about to see a breakout on Bitcoin in the next 15 minutes. So this is what we're going to do. If we don't see a breakout in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to end the stream because I'm getting a little tired. I want to go take a break, go for a walk, touch some grass, dude. And then come back, relax for a minute, play some Fortnite for like 30 minutes, and then hop back on stream, do some research, post some videos. YOLO into Deutsch. I think Dogecoin is a. I know a lot of people hate on Dogecoin, but I think Dogecoin would be probably like one of the best meme tokens to be trading. And with that along with Shiba Inu as well. Damn, dude, ETC is up 26%. Yeah, shout out to Maker, dude. Maker's up $2,000. Anyways, chat, any other questions? I'm probably going to be ending the stream very soon. I'm going to go ahead and take a break for a few minutes. And then, unless anybody has any other TA you want me to go ahead and do. If there's any TA anybody wants me to do, just comment down below and I'll go ahead and do so. But I don't even think I did any TA on Bitcoin to begin with. Elon is talking on X. Talking on crypto. Alright, let's go ahead and look at Elon. Let's see what the heck he's saying. Let's see. Let's listen to Elon Muskie. Let's see what he has to say, bro.
Are bringing net new electricity on a clean hydroelectric basis to communities that desperately need it. They're taking kerosene offline, they're taking hydroelectric online, and they're doing so on the back of proof of work in Bitcoin. And so we're enormously excited about what Bitcoin means as a bootstrapping mechanism for more clean electricity for more people on the planet.
Can I just say for a second that I think Elon's points should be taken very seriously. You know, the electricity argument is a detriment there, but the existence of Bitcoin, the limitations of Bitcoin, the programming of Bitcoin are really the wonders of this coin, and really will be served the whole monetary system of the world. Now, the transactional nature of a Bitcoin is also true, but it's the same thing in gold. You know, what you had here is the Bitcoin will be the reserves, if you will, of a transactional system.
Do you guys hear that pretty well?
Other entities with Bitcoins like a reserves in the bank. That's where it's really going to go, Elon. And I think you're totally correct that the electricity is a sideshow to this, and the transactional developments that will occur are really where we'll get a new world money. But the Bitcoin is the monetary base, if you will, of that, just like gold used to be.
Art actually wrote a really great research paper a number of years ago around Bitcoin's ability to fund clean energy, like Harry was talking to, that I would encourage people to go look up. And in fact, Tesla was a part of helping bring a pilot plant to demonstrate that and how Bitcoin can help fund solar energy using some of their battery technology.
Who wrote that, Matt?
ARC did, in fact.
We did with Block.
Oh, ARC. Oh, the one we did. Oh, yes. And Elon, this was on. We did, remember, with Jack Dorsey. We did the B word. It was called the B word. It was a 5-hour seminar that you, Jack, and I think Steve Lee kicked off. And we spent a lot of time talking about this use case.
It looks like Bonk is probably going to go ahead and have another pump to an upside. Looks like a possible bull flag pattern printing on the 5-minute chart. If it does start to lose support around 0.116619, I would probably consider taking some profits. But I mean, if you're up that much, bro, I would take at least like 30 to 40% profits, because the thing is, well, like when you're trading meme tokens on leverage, it's sometimes the issue that I've come across is closing your full on position in profit. So if you're trying to close like a 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 position, it's definitely going to wreck you on that because of the volatility. So I would take some profits, bro. Like I'd close my position, take some profits. I'll probably take like if you're up 300%, I'll close like a 30%, 40%, but not in one. You know what I mean? I'll probably do like 30%, and then I'll wait for it, and then take another 30%. But I wouldn't close out a full-on position, just due to the fact that for me personally, when I've done that, I've gotten wrecked when I'm up like 1,000% on a position, leverage trading meme tokens, and then you get wrecked because of the price volatility when you're trying to close your position. So that's what I would do. Obviously, none of this is financial advice, but I've never seen you on the channel, so I'm assuming you're probably brand new. And if you are, welcome, bro. And if you're not, welcome. And if you are brand new, smash that subscribe button for me, bro. But yeah, it does look like we could go ahead and see either a breakout to an upside, but if it does continue to lose this area of support, this thing's going to be coming down to 16,001, which could be about a potential 7% correction on the 5-minute chart. That's what I'd be looking at. But yeah, it looks like this thing's probably going to go ahead and go back, look for an area of support around this zone right here probably before it has another leg up to an upside, touching this area of resistance, which is right here where I went at its last high, which is at 0.18. But yeah, let's listen to what this Twitter space is going on with
Anyway, so
Elon.
I think you could perhaps use Bitcoin to some degree, but
Oh, nice, awesome, bro. Glad to have you in here.
It'd be difficult.
I'm glad to have you in here finally commenting. Yeah, dude, you have to comment, bro. You have to interact. It makes it a lot more fun for me and for the community when you do that. Join our Discord, by the way, bro. Completely free. Let's see what Elon is saying, though.
No, you wouldn't be able to mine on Mars. You can't split mining across the...
Talking about mining in Mars, bro. You can't make this thing up.
Correct. No, I think the Mars will have something local. I mean, that I hope we have that problem to deal with. If we have that problem to deal with, then really civilization has advanced dramatically. So right now we've not yet been able to put a single person on Mars. Just a few robots at extremely high prices. So in order to have any, in order to pass one of the Fermi great filters, which is, are you a one-planet species or a multi-planet species? We have to have a self-sustaining civilization on Mars, where the acid test being, if the resupply ships from Earth stop coming for any reason whatsoever, that the city on Mars does not die out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to thank you, Elon. I know you, if you want to hang out and continue with the Bitcoin conversation, that.
I think we got rugged.
Or you could, yes. Kathy, you're back.
Yeah, did I get cut out? I don't know what happened there.
You blanked out for just a second.
Okay, what I was saying is I don't know how much time. I mean, I'd love to keep batting back and forth Bitcoin. I know your time was short, but I wanted to thank you for joining us. This has been awesome. Spaces is awesome, and we're going to be doing a lot more on Spaces. So thank you.
All right, sounds good. Good to.
Great. Thank you. Okay. Guest appearance. He's pretty amazing, but I think we scored a few Bitcoin points there, guys. I think we're bringing him back into the fold. So
I think this is a very similar pattern as to what happened over the last 10 years will probably repeat itself. A huge reason of why we've been able to list these in other jurisdictions with other skeptical regulators, and the same reason that we've been able to do it in the United States is it's becoming way too big to ignore. Mm-hmm. I think if you just look at ownership levels, anywhere the estimates.
Bro, that's probably the reason why Bitcoin has been pumping. That's probably the reason why freaking Bitcoin has been pumping, bro, because of freaking Elon. Like you can't make that thing up. That's probably the reason why it has been pumping. Who's this? But yeah, dude, that was actually pretty cool, man. I've never actually joined any of Elon Musk's freaking spaces, bro. That guy's a freaking robot, bro. Like, this guy's so freaking smart. It's like, dude, it's like, what the heck did this guy just say, bro? It's crazy how they were having a conversation about freaking Bitcoin mining on Mars. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be ending the stream like in about 2 minutes right now. Make sure to go ahead and follow me at ALTCOIN John. Feel free to DM me, dude. Why the heck am I getting all these freaking Optic members, bro? You can't make this thing up. I'm not in the gaming world anymore. Anyways, bonk looks like it's retracing at those levels that we just talked about. Let's look at the 5 minute. Yep, it dumped. It looks like it found that area of resistance at the 17,237. Hopefully you took profits, bro. Hopefully you took profits, Yarkson. And congratulations. It does also look like a cup and handle pattern forming on bonk. So you will be waiting for some sort of area of support to be found, whether it's right here, whether it's right here. That's kind of the reason why I would suggest taking profits when you're up that high. Leverage trading on any token with leverage, I would suggest take, especially meme tokens, 30% cut every time it slightly goes up. And if you want to go ahead and support the channel by using any of those exchanges, make sure to use my links down below. BingX and MEXC, no KYC, and Bybit being one of the best exchanges. I hope all of you have a wonderful day. Thank you. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on to